Coach, welcome to the Big Ten. How's it feel?
Great. It's awesome to be back.
Yeah. I'm on record yesterday talking about how there's still a lot of talent in Seattle. And the quarterback, Will Rogers, obviously you saw the preseason poll from the media. How do you feel about the state of the program and the talent you have right now?
Yeah, I think we have a good football team.
Yeah.
We just have to come together. We have a lot of individuals that are good at what they do.
Yeah.
And now we've got to find a way to see how good of a team can we be. And I guess no one thinks we're going to be very good, so that'll be fun.
Well, Will Rogers, who I just mentioned, your quarterback, has started 40-some college football games, has a ton of experience, came from Mississippi State. What have you seen from him since your time together, and what's your expectation for the season for him?
Well, he's got a lot of football acumen.
Yeah.
He's just a super smart guy that grew up the son of a coach. He's learned our offense really well in a short period of time. And we've got some really, really good perimeter players that he could throw to.
Yeah.
I really love Jeremiah Hunter and Denzel Boston. I think our run game is going to be real good. So with Will, we just got to make sure we protect him.
Yeah.
We got to make sure we do a good job there. And if we can do that, I think he'll have some success.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about the difference in, a lot of times when you take over a program, you're taking over a program that hasn't been very good, right? Unique situation for you. You took over a program that played the national championship game. How'd you adapt to that and kind of adapt your strategy or philosophy with taking things over?
Yeah, it's so different because only 38 of our scholarship players were here last year.
Yeah.
So only one starter. Mm-hmm. So we kind of had to adapt a philosophy of, yes, the logo and yes, the uniform played in the national championship, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Coaches didn't. Most of the players didn't. A lot of the players that were still there were kind of backups on that team. So what we've got to do is we've got to respect what that team did, but that team was 10 draft picks, 13 guys in the league. That was an NFL team that played in that championship game. So we've got to really do it our way.
Yeah.
And that was going to be, very clear that we have a belief and an approach and a philosophy, and we weren't going to change that no matter if that was at Arizona or Washington.
Yeah. You hired Steve Belichick as your defensive coordinator, leaning into the whole NFL model that you're building there. How has Coach Belichick adjusted to college football since he's been at Washington?
Yeah, well, he loves it.
Yeah.
He's been awesome, and as he says, it's still 11 on 11. You still got to do your job. Yeah. You still got to set the edge. You still got to make sure you're gap control. You still got to know how to play man coverage.
Yeah.
But what he's noticed and what we've talked about is how quickly guys can get better.
Yeah.
Like in the NFL, you could have 4 weeks of practice. You're not going to see a big jump in your football team.
Yeah.
In college football, you could have 4 weeks of practice, and you could see an enormous jump in how you play the game.
Yeah. A lot of talk about the new look Big Ten Conference, obviously with Washington coming in. I mean, you guys have some cross-country road trips. I have Penn State, Rutgers, Iowa, Indiana. How are you looking at and approaching the new look Big Ten in 2024?
Well, it's awesome. It's the NFL in the college format, right? You play games across the country. You got to come back. You got to figure out short weeks, long weeks. We play Rutgers on a Friday. We play, Indiana and then Iowa on Saturdays. Across the country. How do you do that? All of those things are fun and exciting because it stimulates your mind. It's not just a 2-hour, hour-and-a-half flight and go play your next game. Yeah. So we've got to decide how we're going to do it. But the new look Big Ten, I mean, what's better than this conference? Yeah. I mean, the games that you can see every single week, you can just tune in and catch an Ohio State-Oregon game. You can catch a Michigan-Washington game. You can catch a Washington-Penn State game for a whiteout. It's awesome football.
Yeah. Who on your team or what about your team do you think will surprise people this season?
I think our defense will surprise a lot of people. Our defense was, I think ranked 83rd in the country last year or something like that. And the defense that we're going to play, the type of defense we play, the energy around our defense, I'm really excited about what type of defense and how these guys are going to play Coach Belichick's system. Yeah. And hopefully we'll be able to challenge a lot of teams that way.
Last question, Coach. Day one training camp, you're meeting with your team. What's going to be your message about the season to them?
Just work. Yeah. Just work. Don't keep your head down and work. That's what we're going to be this year.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.